Today we are going to hear from some real Oaklanders, individuals that are products of this city, that love this city, individuals that are elected, are part of our elected body, leaders, advocates, those that are on the front lines of what happens here in the city of Oakland. So I trust that you're all here because not for the cameras and not for anything other, but we're here because we believe in Oakland. We believe in the leadership of Oakland. We believe in the power of Oakland. And we believe that Oakland is not on the decline, but on the uprise.
As the pastor mentioned, my name is Eden Chan. I serve as district director for our Congresswoman Lateefah Simon. And I'm honored to be here this morning and to read this statement from the Congresswoman. The president's threat to send soldiers into our city is not a response to need. It is a deliberate attempt to target Black mayors, Black representation, and the communities we serve. Victims of crime deserve swift justice, real accountability, and the care that only comes from coordinated local action. Under Mayor Barbara Lee's leadership, public safety is a top priority. Violent crime in Oakland is down nearly 30% this year because of a comprehensive strategy that brings law enforcement, service providers, and the faith community together to prevent harm and respond when it occurs. Federal overreach will not make Oakland safer. It will undermine the local partnerships that are delivering results. I stand with Mayor Lee and Governor Newsom in defending our right to govern our city and our own state. We will continue to protect our residents through trust, collaboration, and accountability, not through the militarization of our streets. Thank you.
First of all, let me just thank Congresswoman Lateefah Simon's office, Eden, and the Congresswoman. And we will have statements from Senator Adam Schiff and Senator Alex Padilla. I want to thank them for their statements. Supervisor Nikki Fortunato Bass, she should be here shortly. And our council members. Let me thank our NAACP, Jamaica Moon for Local 21, IFPTE, and I want to thank, where's Nicholas? Brenmaker, who is from Central Legal and is counsel for our immigrant communities, which are under threat as a result of this terrible action that has taken place. And a couple of things. I hope you all know and believe that President Trump's characterization of Oakland is downright wrong. It's wrong. It's fear-mongering, not fact. We're making real progress on public safety. Oakland has achieved a 28% overall crime reduction in the first 6 months of 2025 with significant decreases in violent crimes and 46% decrease in auto thefts. And of course we have more work to do, but we're doing the work. All of us are doing the work. All of our neighborhoods deserve public safety. And so what he is doing, again, is diversionary and is fear-mongering, and it's wrong. And so we're not going to back down. And I want to thank everyone for being here because, let me just say, no one knows this president's playbook better than I do. Better than I do. I served in Congress 27 years. 4 years of those 27 years were when Donald Trump was the president. I was sitting on the floor of the House of Representatives on January 6th, mind you, when he sent in those people to thwart the peaceful transfer of power. I was on the Appropriations Committee, and I visited all of the detention centers, and I worked to try to make sure that we could unify children with their parents who he had taken away from their parents. And those memories stick with me today just in terms of our immigrant community. And so our legal team also is analyzing the constitutionality of all of these threats. We're coordinating with state and local allies, and also working with other mayors, and who are also dealing with very similar circumstances. We're providing support just as it relates to our immigrant communities, to families affected by ICE, and are working with Central Legal to ensure immigrants know their rights. Oakland remains a city of refuge. We are a sanctuary city. Now, Trump is proposing and threatening to militarize cities, which is, you know, unconstitutional. It's no coincidence, though, that these are cities that have large populations of black and brown people. These are cities, all of these cities where the crime rates are going down. These are the cities that happen to be led by black mayors. What is this about? What is this about? His motives are fear-mongering and diversionary. When Donald Trump threatens our communities, we stand up, and I stood up to him before, over and over and over again. And as mayor, I will continue to stand firm with you. We'll ensure that Oakland remains a place of refuge, justice, and opportunity, and not allow the possible and proposed militarization and occupation of the cities which he called out to provoke any reaction that gives them an opening to come in here. And so I want to thank everybody for being here because together, and I talked about this early on during the campaign, we may disagree on a variety of issues, but on our common values and on our common love for this city and our communities, Oakland is unified. We believe in hope over fear and community over conflict. So thank you all again for being here, and I look forward to the rest of our speakers.
Good morning, Mayor Barbara Lee. Good morning, council members. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nikki Fortunato Bass, and I'm proud to serve as your supervisor on the Alameda County Board of Supervisors. I'm also proud to have served alongside many of you as an Oakland council member and council president. And I'm even prouder that I've raised my family here in Oakland. I want to be clear that I love Oakland like everyone in this room, like many who are watching us today, because we believe that anything is possible. We stand on the right side of justice, and we are resilient, and we have each other's backs. Trump is wrong about Oakland, and we know the truth. That truth is that we have been doing the real and hard work together to make our city safe and thriving for our residents, our businesses, and our visitors. We have built, alongside many of you, Mayor Barbara Lee, our city council, our public safety chiefs, we have built a comprehensive community safety infrastructure that combines effective and accountable law enforcement with community-centered violence interruption and alternative crisis response. And our reinvestment and refocusing in that system and structure meant that in 2024, crime went down. In 2025, today, crime continues to go down. And we recognize that there's more work to do, and we are here standing together because we are laser focused in making sure that we get the job done under the leadership of our mayor, Mayor Barbara Lee. And as your supervisor, I want to share that I am working to strengthen the county's partnership with the city of Oakland to address the root causes of poverty and violence and our fundamental rights to education and housing. In June, our Board of Supervisors approved a 5-year plan to distribute over $200 million in Measure C funding to expand access to early childcare and education in Alameda County. And in July, with the advocacy of our mayor, our council members, and many, many across Oakland and the entire county, our board approved a historic $1.4 billion in investments of Measure W funds for homelessness solutions across the county. And the majority of these funds will be invested right here in Oakland because Oakland has our largest number of unhoused residents. And we are also going to make sure those investments address racial inequities and homelessness. So let's be clear today that Trump's threats and his deployment of the National Guard are not about safety or law. This is about fear and control, and it is a blatant abuse of power. That is right. And with the passage of the big, brutal budget, I want to be crystal clear that this administration is looting and dismantling our safety net. It is shredding decades of progress, and it is leaving local governments, just like ours, to pick up the pieces as they strip away health care, as they strip away food security and so much more. And with the threats to our immigrant communities, I also want to be clear that we condemn Trump's scapegoating and attacks on immigrants. We will stand with our immigrant community as ICE continues to sweep across the country and our state, and the first ICE sighting was verified by our Rapid Response Network. We will make sure that we stand together and reminding our families that our families belong together. Everyone belongs right here. And we all have constitutional rights, the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney, the right to freedom of speech. And later this afternoon at 3 o'clock, I will be chairing our Alameda County Together for All committee. That committee is charged with making sure that we are analyzing the specific threats to our communities by this federal administration, its policies and its budget, and we are standing up and we are fighting back and we are protecting our communities and our safety net. And lastly, I want to concur with the mayor. We will not be misrepresented or bullied. We will speak truth to power, especially when our most vulnerable are being attacked and abandoned by this administration. We will fight for justice, for dignity, and the basic promise of our right to housing, health care, food, and a safe community. Today, we stand together. We will continue to stand together and take action because literally everything is on the line. I look forward to continuing to partner with all of you to build a stronger Oakland and Alameda County. Thank you.
And so as we've heard already from our mayor and our federal leadership, they've really made clear that, Trump's rhetoric is not by any means representative of who we are. And it does not define Oakland now or the future that we are working on creating together. Trump made the statement that Oakland was so far gone, naming us alongside other historically Black and brown cities like Chicago and Baltimore. And as was mentioned, this is clearly no accident. This narrative draws from a long, harmful pattern where leaders distort the truth about majority Black communities to justify federal overreach, aggressive policing, and the erosion of our civil liberties. And so let's be clear, this is not about public safety. It's about power. But we know that Oakland, like many cities across the country, is making real, genuine progress and change towards community safety. And each and every one of us in this room are fully focused on advancing policies and initiatives that focus on making Oaklanders safer and uplifting the vital work of our community-based organizations and all of the many government partners that share the same vision. And so our city, as was mentioned, has never been defined by fear, but is defined by ourselves, working together for a brighter future. And so yes, we have some challenges, but all of us are really working to face those head on, and we'll continue moving forward with determination, despite those who seek to underestimate the strength and resiliency of our city that we love so much, Oakland.
Good morning, everyone. Before I get started, I wanted to just remind people here today and the individuals watching that it is the 90th anniversary of the Social Security Act in the United States of America. My name is Carol Fife, and I'm the elected representative of Oakland's District 3, where City Hall is located. And the reason I mention Social Security is because that is the leadership that a president who cares about the interests of his constituents will provide. The social safety net that Social Security created for millions of Americans has been eroded. And we're talking about having a president who had Oakland's name in his mouth about crime, who is a convicted felon trying to talk about Oakland. I'm offended. I'm not offended just because the facts are not the facts. They are the alternative facts he used to talk about years ago. but because Oakland is doing the things to get us on the right track. Under the leadership of Mayor Barbara Lee and so many community leaders that I see in this room today, we are making real changes. We, for the first time, as we heard from our supervisor, have funds coming in to deal with the issue of homelessness that we've never had in the city of Oakland before. We have partnerships that are growing that we haven't had or have been frayed in the past. So we are making the changes necessary and getting back to the basics of what it means to take care of our communities. And we have to consider that bringing in the National Guard to the city of Oakland and the other places that the president mentioned, I even hate saying that. I even hate saying president, that this authoritarian in the White House is doing, is saying that needs to happen, is the direct opposite of what we need. $134 million was spent in Los Angeles to bring in the National Guard to sleep on floors because there was not the so-called work to be done to protect law and order in Los Angeles. $134 million. What could Oakland do with $134 million? If you care about safety, Mr. Convicted Felon in the White House, if you care about law and order, you would know that the safest cities have the most resources. That's right. And those resources come in the tune of affordable housing, which the federal government divested from decades ago. It comes from protecting our seniors. It comes from investing in education. And one of the first things he did in office was to sign an executive order and kick out the Department of Education. So don't tell me that you care about crime, and don't tell me that you care about American citizens when you're arresting hardworking American citizens every day because they immigrated to this country for a better life, typically because the United States was involved in undermining their countries. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the United States creating wars and undermining countries and creating coups, which we saw on January 6th, and no National Guard was called in for that. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about how law enforcement officers were killed in this country? And National Guard was not called in for that. So let's be honest. Yes, Oakland has work to do, and we are doing that work. And we are doing that work better resourced than ever, and we will continue on that path. But this, what we're experiencing, is grooming. It's grooming. He knows something about that. Grooming is to prepare us for an abusive relationship that he wants to have with the American people. And if you do it little by little, you will prepare all of us by saying, well, it's for those people. It's for the criminals. It's for the homeless. It's for the immigrants. When we lose our freedoms in this country, little by little, they will erode for all of us. So we have to know an injustice to one is an injustice to all. And we stand united with Baltimore. We stand united with Chicago. We stand united with Los Angeles. And we stand united with every single city in America, whether it has a black mayor or not, who is standing on the right side of justice. And we will continue that fight. And Oakland is ready because we stay ready. So bring it on if you think you want it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Janani Ramachandran, City Council Member representing Oakland's District 4. President Trump's attack on strong, blue, democratic, and dare I say progressive cities like Oakland is nothing but a distraction from the train wreck of an administration that is falling apart at the seams. Oakland is not your scapegoat, Mr. President. And we are not going to let you use us as a distraction for the things that you actually have to deal with, like covering your name up in Epstein files, shaming our reputation internationally, not helping end wars, certainly, and fueling the flames of violence in this country and abroad, starting tariff wars and economic wars that are harming the people you claimed to represent, American businesses and workers. Talk of imposing the National Guard in a city like Oakland that is proudly on the rise is nothing but outlandish. I am proud, I am so proud to be serving alongside a mayor and council that is actually putting in the real work that is yielding results, especially when it comes to fighting crime and improving our economy, revitalizing Oakland. Now, we have a long way to go, but the trends, the data, the mood in Oakland, come here for yourself. Go to our beautiful urban redwood forest, take a walk around Lake Merritt, shop, go to a sports game, see for yourself how Oakland is on the up and up, not the hellscape that you pretend and you would like for Oakland to be. So if you want to continue, Mr. President, to support Oakland's rise, help us fund our schools. Help us fund our roads. Help us fund our fire department. Dare I say, help us fund our police department. Help us fund our homelessness services. Help us fund affordable housing. Help us fund the things we need to continue to be on the up and up, not the things that will set back progress. So, Mr. Trump, either work with us, with the city of Oakland, and the things that we still need help in, or leave us alone. Thank you.
The NAACP National President and CEO, Derrick Johnson, released the following statement in response to President Trump's announcement that he would deploy the National Guard to Washington, D.C. The statements of National President Johnson apply equally to the threat to deploy the National Guard in Oakland. President Johnson said this: "The brave men and women who make up the National Guard are our country's defense against domestic emergencies and natural disasters, not weapons against American citizens. Deploying the National Guard in this way is not only disgraceful to our troops, but it is a waste of taxpayer dollars, and it is built on a lie. Trump says rising violence in the Capitol endangers the public, but the Department of Justice reported that violent crime is down 35%, a 30-year low. There's no emergency in D.C., so why would he deploy the National Guard, you may ask? To distract us from the alleged inclusion, from his alleged inclusion in the Epstein files? To rid the city of unhoused people? D.C. has a right to govern itself, and it doesn't need this federal coup. This president campaigned on law and order, but he is the president of chaos and corruption." And let me add these personal comments. Wake up, America. Wake up and recognize this move by President Trump for what it is: a direct attack on our democracy. These kinds of actions threaten all of us, not just the cities he's named or identified. And no real patriot would ever so blatantly trample on our constitutional rights. Only a person who is intent on destroying America from the inside would engage in the kind of conduct we have seen from this administration. Dr. Martin Luther King admonished us, "It may well be that we have to repent in this generation, not merely for the vitriolic words of the bad people and the violent actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence of the good people who sit around and say, 'Wait on time.'" Dr. King told us we must realize that the time is always right to do right. The NAACP has already brought numerous lawsuits against this administration. The NAACP will not sit by in silence. We will continue to fight for justice and freedom as we have done since our founding in 1909. We hope all of you will join us in this fight for the very soul of our country and for the very soul of our city. We will not back down.
Donald Trump is not concerned about the needs of Oakland residents. Trump's actions are rooted in racism, establishing an authoritarian regime, and white nationalism. Over the last year, crime rates have significantly declined in Oakland, and the National Guard is not warranted. These actions are self-serving and seek to distract residents from important constitutional and budgetary issues. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and thank you, Mayor Lee. I know you've been a champion for immigrants your entire career, so thank you for your work defending immigrants. Also, thank you, Supervisor Bass, for championing and working with the county to help us get assistance for the work that we do. We also invite the city to enter a dialogue and continue a dialogue with us to build our resources to be able to rise to this occasion. We have an immense challenge. Our attorneys at a CLIP and Centro Legal de la Raza were stretched thin. I haven't been sleeping many hours responding to the many ICE arrests. I've been going almost daily to the ICE field office on Sansom Street in San Francisco. People are just traumatized. They are being held in deplorable conditions that are completely in violation of human rights and, frankly, decency and morality. I go there and I talk to people. You all have heard the story about the child who was detained along with 5 of his housemates and family members. And speaking with a child who's going through that, I have, it's just about as excruciating as you can imagine. He was terrified, he was in tears. When I had to explain that his family members had been transferred, he broke down in tears, just feeling left behind. And it was clear that ICE was completely unprepared to hold a child. He had to be in this holding cell, and let me describe it to you. It's just a bare floor, cement floor. They are just given a piece of plastic to use as a blanket. There are often multiple people held in these holding cells. I've heard from arrested persons up to 5 in one small holding cell. Again, just a concrete floor, toilet just exposed there. So you have to go to the toilet in front of all these other people. It's inhumane, and it should not be happening anywhere in the world, let alone in the Bay Area. So I'm here also to answer questions about the arrest and the raid of the 6 who were held at the ICE field office, including the child, as well as a person with Down syndrome. A child and a person with Down syndrome should never be detained. Point blank. They should not be held in a detention center, much less in a detention center that isn't even built to hold anyone more than a few hours. So I call on the city to continue dialogue with us to build the resources. We are worried about not just responding to the current challenge, but as it was already mentioned with the reconciliation bill, we'll send $76 billion to ICE. It's an enormous challenge, and frankly, we are worried to how we are going to rise to this challenge. We need attorneys, social workers, response staff to be able to deal with this. We are looking into filing a habeas petition and a TRO motion for people who have been detained. We have the tools, but we need the resources to be able to fight back and to defend our community. 1 in 3 Oakland residents are foreign-born, so it doesn't just affect the family of the persons who were arrested. And I've spoken with the mother and aunt several times, and she's broken down. She is completely terrified how they are going to make ends meet, how when she is going to see her loved ones again. And it doesn't just affect the family members of the persons who were arrested. It affects the whole immigrant community in Oakland. So again, 1 in 3 people are foreign-born. I guarantee you that none of them are going to sleep comfortably tonight. I guarantee you so many of them will lie awake tonight worried about what's going to happen with them, with their children, with their neighbors and friends and family members. So I can take some questions if. Oh, not right now. Okay, my bad. Thank you all for coming here. It does give us support to see. It does give us hope to see this support in the community. And thanks again to the mayor and to everyone here, Supervisor Bass for being here. And I look forward to working together with you all.
Hi, good morning. Is it still morning? I'm Jamaica Moon, and I'm raised in Oakland and currently a public works supervisor. In my job, we sweep the streets, pick up illegal dumping, and we keep our neighborhoods clean and safe every day for our residents and for our visitors. And while we go block to block to keep Oakland beautiful, we see how every block is home to vibrant, hardworking, and powerful communities. I want to tell every Oaklander that city workers, we have your back. And let's call it like it is. Trump's agenda is a disaster for working people. And now he wants to point fingers and create fear. We reject his cruel deportation machine. We reject his fascist occupations. We reject his racism, and we reject his lies. Trump is picking on the wrong city. We're going to keep moving Oakland forward, and we're going to keep standing tall. Thank you to everybody who spoke, and proud to be standing up here speaking with you all. Thank you.
So again, I'm Danielle Motley Lewis, president of the BWAPA Oakland Berkeley chapter. That's Black Women Organized for Political Action. I won't stay long. I'm just going to continue to set the record straight, as my colleagues and friends have already done. Oakland is not in a crisis. We are in a transformation. We all need to share stories of progress, unity, and that transformation, not headlines. As our mayor has reported, violent crime is down 28% from the previous year, with major drops in homicide, assault, rape, and even robbery. These gains are real, thanks to community leadership and smart partnerships with law enforcement. Trump's recent remarks paint a false narrative of our city, using the same tired, racially charged stereotypes that have been used against Black and brown, Black-led Democratic cities for decades. But as my sister, Rowena Brown, and our council member has said, we reject that fear-based narrative. Oakland's future depends on facts, not fear. It depends on unity, not division. Whether you're in the media, a pastor, a politician, law enforcement, a teacher, a business owner, an artist, or an activist, Oakland's success is all of our responsibility. And we are grateful for Mayor Lee's leadership, her courage, and her vision as we move forward together. Fear does not define Oakland. We all do. Thank you.
So to all of you, I want to encourage you, this is the season, this is the time. This is the era, this is the moment that we all must begin to lift up Oakland, promote Oakland, invest in Oakland, live in Oakland, work in Oakland, and most of all, celebrate Oakland. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you.